Oh, this looks like Animal Rebellion. It's a vigil. Indefinite fast for a citizens assembly. Are you talking about this, or are you just sitting with it?
The leaflet.
I'll take a leaflet, but I mean, I've already read the C bill. I presume citizens assembly is with reference to the C bill, no?
It's part of the same approach, yeah.
So have you read it yourself?
What, the CE bill?
Yeah.
Bits of it.
Bits of it. Do you understand?
Are you the press?
Am I the press? Definitely not, Mrs.
So who are you then?
My name's Jim. I've got a YouTube channel.
Right.
It's called Correct Not Political. Basically what I do is I interview people in the street to try and get some sort of insight and perspective as to what the average Joe's take on reality is.
Right. Well, the reality is that we're in a climate crisis.
We're in a climate crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. But what I'm starting to understand is the reality is everyone wants to preach about it, but no one really knows or understands the facts or figures or analytical data behind the alarmist words.
That's not true. There are thousands of people who understand the data.
There's thousands. Are you one of them?
I understand some of it. I'm not a scientist, but I understand.
Have you read? So do you understand what the significance of a citizens' assembly is in the C bill? Right.
It's not in the CE bill.
It is in the CE bill.
It's not in the CE.
It is. It is. It's about having a citizens' assembly on a local level, but it states in there that the member of parliament, the cabinet minister, the one who's overseeing it all, doesn't actually have to take on board or.
There's already been a climate assembly. It's not the same thing. That's what you're talking about.
No, I'm on about the citizens' assemblies on a local level.
There's citizens' assemblies, and then there's a climate assembly that the government.
This says citizens' assemblies, though.
I know, because I'm not talking about the climate assembly. I'm talking about the citizens' assembly.
Yeah, but in the CEE bill, it's written citizens' assembly. So I just take that to be the same thing.
Well, why?
Because it's written exactly the same. So I presume they're the same thing, no? So who are these thousands of people that understand the data and all the analysts?
They're called scientists.
So-called scientists?
They are called scientists.
Oh, they're called scientists. Do you know any of their names?
Are you filming me right now?
Probably. Apparently so. Do you not wish to be filmed?
I wish you'd ask my permission.
I do beg your pardon, I'm ever so sorry. Do you wish me not to film you now then?
Is this a serious thing, or is this just you?
I'm trying to understand if you're willing to sit here all day for something that you don't have a sound comprehension of.
Why are you asserting that I don't comprehend it? That's
because I'm asking you to assert what scientists you trust, what they're called, what their names.
David King.
Right, who is he? What does he do?
He worked for a long time for this government.
For this government?
And now he's retired.
Okay. So this long time that you worked for the government, did he do good things?
He's a scientist. It's not about good things.
Of course it's about good things. It's about people and their sentiment and what they're actually up to and what they want to get out of life and achieve.
Science is about facts.
Science, yeah, but we live in a capitalist society. We live in a capitalist society where people do things for money, love.
Don't call me love.
Sorry, what's your name? What would you like to be addressed as? I beg your pardon, I'm sorry. What shall I address you as, Miss?
We live in a complex democracy with many different approaches.
I think we live in a corporatocracy, mate. I think we live in a fascist state. I think if you look at what
we don't live in a fascist
well,
state.
if you look at what Mussolini actually said about fascism, I think you do find we live in a fascist state.
Mussolini talked about corporatism, not fascism.
Yeah, no, it's when the state and the corporate entities join up. Yeah, it's the same. That's fascism, mate. That's what he said.
What's your point?
My point is, fundamentally, is it an issue of getting this message to the masses of the great unwashed, or is it...
I don't approve of that expression.
Of what?
Those expressions.
What expressions? The masses?
The people, working class people and underclass people are not a monolithic identity.
No, we're all very
And I
intersectional
don't
these days, aren't we?
approve of the expression "the great unwashed" either. It's disrespectful.
What about useless eaters? They're not my words, you must understand.
Negative.
Yeah, but they're not my words,
Why
are they?
use them then?
What?
Why
Because
use them then?
that's what they look at you as. That's their perspective.
There's many different people in the Houses of Parliament, aren't there?
Yeah, and they all went to the
So
same bloody school, didn't they?
They don't all think the same, do they?
Did they not? I think you have to, mate. To actually sit in there, I think you have to.
That's naive.
Yeah, that's naive.
That's simplistic.
It's naive to suggest that human nature is one of honesty.
What's the relationship between what you've just said and that?
Because the people in there are not honest, and it's human nature. That's my point, fundamentally.
No, human beings are not all the same.
That's very simplistic.
No, it's not. It's complicated.
I would argue all human beings being liars, neurotypical human beings being liars.
I feel sorry for you.
You feel sorry for me?
Yeah, because you must have a very uncomfortable life if you're surrounded by people you don't respect.
I don't surround myself by them, do I? I go and find them and film them.
So you're a liar.
Cheers.